Okay, Superwoman was single, Batgirl was single, even Wonder Woman was single. I get it now. I'm single because I'm a superhero. This is dating part 1, slang terms. Actually, I really don't mind being single, whether I'm in a relationship or I'm single. I'm having just as much fun with who I am and all my day-to-days. But here's the thing. Coming back into the single world, navigating some stuff, and also supporting you and some of the women that work with me, I really needed to know and kind of get like freshened up on some of the stuff that happens in the dating world these days, right? Because it can get kind of complicated and it can get really scary, and with all these new ways to date, we gotta catch up. We literally have to learn how to be cool in a dating world. So that is what I have done. So this is going to be part of a series of stuff that I have learned while entering back into the dating world, and we're going to start with some of the words that you need to know in order to be cool and to be dateable and to know kind of what everybody's talking about. So for those of you looking for an LTR, but you don't know if you want to meet them over the digital world or at a meet cute, but you're too scared of getting ghosted, but all these guys keep orbiting you. However, you want to Netflix and chill, but you don't want to come across as way too thirsty, but you just want to keep it casual. However, last week your girlfriend got catfished, and now, you see, maybe you need to keep this guy around because you need to cushion some of it. What am I talking about? There is all of this new language that comes with dating these days, and it's really weird and really confusing, but so much fun, and I love every part of it. But let me talk to you about some of the wording, the phrases, right? Like what's hip with the kids. Why am I saying that? I'm an elder millennial. I'm what's hip with the kids. Anyways, let's talk about some of these words that some people might be putting in their profiles or might be texting to you. All right, so first thing that you want to know is the phrase meet cute. I learned what a meet cute is, and a meet cute is when it's actually something that they use in romantic comedies when the first protagonist meets the other protagonist, and like they romantically and in a comedic kind of awkward way meet each other organically, and just romance starts to ensue from there, or like the storyline starts to go from there, right? That's essentially what a meet cute is. So a meet cute is when organically just like meet someone and you exchange numbers, you exchange emails, and then the dating kind of commences from there. That's actually my preferred way to date. Legitimately, and we're gonna get into over this series like what my experiences have been with trying to date online, and I've come to the conclusion that if I'm not meeting you organically, it's probably gonna be really hard for me to get into it, and that's okay. That's my boundary. That's something for me to live with, right? But that's what a meet cute is. It's a charming, fun, organic way to meet people. But here's the thing. I'm well aware that if I want to meet someone organically and start dating someone or start chatting with someone, then I also need to be aware that I need to put myself out there and get out there and meet people and go and hang out at community events and, ask my friends if they have friends that are single, and, just go out there and get out there and meet people and like smile at people in the grocery store and smile at people at the pubs and talk to people, right? Like you can't just like go out and like hope someone's gonna come knocking on your door. That's not how this is, because I'm looking for an LTR. And an LTR is a long-term relationship. I'm not looking for something that's casual, although casual is really fun. And casual relationships are relationships that are kind of in between fuck buddies and going steady. It's like you're dating, but you're not really committed. You don't really talk about exclusivity, right? But you're hanging out. Some people call it hanging out. Other people would call it a situationship. I'm going to talk about those in a second. But, or it's not really an FWB, which is a friends with benefits. And a friend with benefits is somebody that you're friends with. Yeah, maybe you'll go for a hike with them every once in a while. But like, you don't really introduce them to your friends as like the person that you're dating, right? They're the person that you call at 2 a.m. when you're coming home from the bar after your girls' night. You're like, hey, right? Or if it's like a wintry Wednesday night and all you want to do is like make popcorn and Netflix and chill, which means get it in, right? That's what Netflix and chill means. Get it in. right? Then that's when you call your FWB, because your FWB is not a casual and it's not an LTR. Okay, now different types of relationships, okay? So the first kind is a text-lationship. And a text-lationship is a relationship that you start with somebody where you're texting, but you're probably never going to meet. So you know those people that you're like texting for days, if not weeks, if not months on, but like you're like, you never really figured out if you're going to meet or not? That's a text-lationship, and it takes just as much energy, but it's not really going anywhere. If you haven't met someone within the first few weeks of talking to someone, then why are you doing it? Because the whole point of dating is looking at what your goals are. So if you get caught up in a text relationship, but you're looking for an LTR, you need to cut that out big time before you get yourself into a situationship. And a situationship are those relationships that are neither here nor there. You're kind of together, but you're kind of not together. You might be committed, but like really you can't really be committed because this person isn't like your partner, but it's a situation, and sometimes it causes you way more problems and way more grief than it really needs to. All right, so I've got what you would call BCE, and if I had a penis, it would be BDE, which is big dick energy, but I call it big clit energy. And the reason why I say I have big clit energy is because I'm confident. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what we're here for. And I'm not about having big clit energy, though, is not about being loud about it or controlling about it in your relationships, right? It's not about being like, and I got a big clit energy, right? It's just about like, this is who I am. You either take it or you leave it or move on, right? So I've got BCE, which means that if I get ghosted or if I'm being orbited or if I know I'm being benched, I'm going to be really pissed about it, because that type of relationship is not, those types of interactions are not clear communication for me. And that is really important. That is something I value very much in my relationships. So what is getting ghosted? Getting ghosted is when someone literally goes from dating to dead silence, and they literally become dead. And you have no idea what happened to the relationship. You have no idea why they disappeared. And they just poof, in thin air. Bye. And that's what getting ghosted is. Okay, so if you haven't been ghosted, then there's something called the slow fade. And the slow fade is when you're talking to somebody and then slowly the interactions start to kind of have more time in between them, right? So the slow fade is exactly what it sounds like. You're slowly fading someone out of your life. But then there's things like getting benched. Being benched or benching, aka breadcrumbing, is when someone continues to kind of keep your interest piqued, but at very odd times, and it's almost like you're playing a sport and your coach is keeping you sitting on the bench, keep warming up that bench just in case one of the star players fucking fouls out, right? So if one of the star players fouls out, you're in. But the thing is that people do that when they date also. So they keep you as a crumbs to keep you thinking that you've got a chance, when really what you're doing is you're being a bench warmer because they're going after their star player and they're watching to see what happens with that. All right, so if you're feeling a little thirsty, but you're looking for an FBO because it's cuffing season, get ready. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, so an FBO is when you make a relationship Facebook official. That's what that means. And for some people, that really defines a relationship for people, because Facebook really is running a lot of this world right now, which is why it can be incredibly problematic. Now, when you're acting thirsty, you can imagine what that means when it comes to dating. So when you're thirsty in real life, right, you're parched. You're like, I just need a drop of water. And that is all about seeking validation. So when you're thirsty, what you're actually doing is you're asking or looking for attention. You need attention. You need that validation. So you're kind of almost willing to get it from anyone, even the guys that you've been benching or the guys that you've blocked for a second, but you just need to feel validated. So either you are acting thirsty, so you text someone you shouldn't, Or you throw out a thirst trap. And a thirst trap is when you put out a picture of yourself looking all hot and sexy and goddess-like, and you're rocking it, and you hashtag thirst trap because you know that your crush is going to see that and then he's going to text you. All right, but what is cuffing season? So cuffing season, which is kind of what we're leading into right now. Right now it's the fall. Things are starting to cool down. People are starting to get cozy, right? Netflix is putting out some really good shows that you're gonna want to watch, right? Cuffing season is during the winter months when two people decide to kind of get together, whether that's as an FWB, whether that is actually that they're going to FBO, right? And I don't want to watch Netflix by myself or bake cookies by myself, so I just kind of like want you to be around. So do you want to do that? And that's what cuffing season is, which is really funny. But be aware, because if you're cushioning, which cushioning means that you're leaving other options open around you while you kind of see what your star player is going to do, right? You need to be careful because some people know when they're being cushioned, they know when they're being led on, and they will let go or find someone else really, really quickly. So if you find yourself looking like a snack, baby, this isn't a snack, this is a full meal right here. You need to be aware though that there are pie hunters out there, okay? So pie hunters are people who prey, who deliberately prey on people who are heartbroken, who are vulnerable, who are like, your heart hurts, so let me just like take care of you. That's what a pie hunter is. So if you're fresh out of a relationship this cuffing season, be aware as to who you're allowing and inviting into your home, right? Because you're gonna be looking like a snack, and looking like a snack means that you're looking like a babe, you're looking like a honey, you are looking like a stunner. You are all up in your goddess self, and that's what looking like a snack means. So if you're feeling good, you need to be aware that some people might actually prey on on you, right? Because you may be DTF, right? But like they're gonna probably ask you to DTR, and then you're like, well, now what? Because I don't know what kind of relationship I want. DTF, by the way, down to fuck. DTR means define the relationship, especially if you've been hanging out with somebody for a little while. So it's a lot, friends, but it's so much fun. So whether you're dating or you're single, you gotta learn the lingo. And this is what we're learning with dating part 1. So get your hearts up. Thank you for tuning in. I love you, I love you, I love you. And check back next week for another video all about dating.